Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review The Bourne Supremacy. So, The Bourne Supremacy stars Matt Damon, Jonah Allen, Brian Cox, Carl Urban, and Julia Stiles. And what this film is about, it's about when Jason Bourne is being framed for a CIA operative that went haywire. Now he has to come out of the shadows and be that trained assassin that he once was. So, what did I think of The Bourne Supremacy? This was honestly a really good sequel to The Bourne Identity. I thought this was a really good movie. I really enjoyed The Bourne Supremacy. It's a really good sequel. Maybe not as great as The Bourne Identity, but it was still a really good sequel. I still enjoyed it. So yeah. So let's get to my positives. And my positives are the acting. The acting's great here. I love the acting with The Bourne Supremacy. Of course, Matt Damon as Jason Bourne. He's great. I love him as Jason Bourne. This is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen from Matt Damon because he embodies Jason Bourne to me. He really does. And I honestly can't see anybody else playing him now because he's just so great as Jason Bourne. They should never reboot these movies. They should just keep on going. Matt Damon would be 83 and he'll still do these movies because I can't see no one else as Jason Bourne because he just does such a great job as Jason Bourne. I love him in this film. He does such a great job. His character takes a much darker tone than it did in the first movie. And he's just great. He does a great job of that. So yeah, love Matt Damon in this movie. Jonah Allen as Paula, who's like this CIA operative. She's great as well. I thought she did a really good job in the film. I enjoyed her in this film. Brian Cox, he was really enjoyable as well. He did a really good job in the film. Carl Urban as kind of the villain, really. He is the villain of the film. He's really good as well. He did a really good job as the villain. Doesn't speak that much English, but he's still really good in the film. I still enjoyed him. He was really good as a bad guy. Julia Stiles, just like in the first movie, not in it that much, but for the scenes that she's in for, she still was really good. I still liked her character. So, yeah. The acting's great. The action is really, really good with this movie. I love the action with the film. And, you know, Paul Greengrass, he uses shaky cam. Now, I am personally not a fan of shaky cam. Shaky cam is pretty terrible. I mean, Battle of Los Angeles, the original Hunger Games, they had some of the worst shaky cam I've ever seen in my life. But in this film, he uses it more as just trying to build a little bit more of tension, you know what I mean? You could still see Matt Damon fighting, you can still see the other person fighting, so it's not distracting in my opinion, at least most of it. So yeah, shaky cam for the most part is actually pretty good. I actually like it, so yeah. The action is great. I do enjoy the action. The way the movie makes you think, just like the first film, this movie makes you think a little bit, makes you like question some things. I like that, you know, it makes you think, makes you question a little bit of things, and that's great, honestly. And I like that with these movies, they make you think, so yeah. And I forgot to mention this in my Bourne Identity review, but the way that Jason Bourne is so smart, the way he knows how to do things and be tactical, like, just knows every step and every movement of what he's going to do. You know, I love that. I love how he is like that, you know, he's a very smart, trained assassin. You know, he's not sloppy. He never like messes up. He's not sloppy. So yeah, and I like that. He's great, honestly. So yeah, the writing's absolutely great with this film. I love the writing with The Bourne Supremacy. The directing, like I said, it's directed by Paul Greengrass. He does an absolutely great job directing this film. Beautifully shot, in my opinion. So yeah, the directing is absolutely tremendous. The pacing, actually, for the most part, just like the first movie, is very fast-paced. Not to the point where it's rushing, but it just keeps going. Like, it's an adrenaline rush. It just keeps going and going and going, and I like that, you know. We'll get into more of that later, but it really just is fast-paced, and it's really an adrenaline rush for most of the film, so yeah. However, I do have some negatives with The Bourne Supremacy, and my negatives are the shaky cam could get a little bit out of control at times. There are some parts where it just shakes up a little bit too much and you can't see what's going on. At some parts, not a lot, but there are some parts where I was just like, kind of tone it down just a bit. So yeah, the pacing can be slow. It's mostly in the middle where it could be slow at parts. and it could have been picked up a little bit more. So yeah, there are just some slow moments in the middle. And finally, not to spoil anything, I'll just say this. Something happens to Jason Bourne in this movie. Something important in his life happens. And it's a great character moment for Jason Bourne. However, the way they execute it and the way it happens was very rushed and very abrupt in my opinion. I didn't like how they executed it. Like I said, great moment for Jason Bourne. Great character arc for him. But the way they executed it and the way they did it was just a bit rushed and abrupt in my opinion. So yeah. Overall, guys, I really enjoyed the Bourne Supremacy. It's a really good sequel. In my opinion, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on the Bourne Supremacy. And my official grade on the Bourne Supremacy is a B+. It's still a really good sequel. I recommend this movie. It's an enjoyable sequel, honestly. You know, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, gets a B+. So what do you guys think of the Bourne Supremacy? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you out tomorrow for my review for the Bourne Ultimatum. Peace.